we've had a couple of questions come through from our Instagram followers. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to quick fire a few at you, if that's all right. So we have got here, what's our first one? Okay. Favourite horse breed, Rose would like to know. Karen?
Well, my favourite breed, well, I do like a good thoroughbred because they're so giving, a nice thoroughbred. But for our sport, sadly, because the sport has changed so dramatically over the last 15 years, then the warm blood sadly comes in. But in saying that, Leporus is 3/4 thoroughbred, and I love that about him. He's just got that personality. What about you, Stuart?
Yeah, exactly the same as Karen. It's the thoroughbreds in Australia now are a little bit more of a sprinting breed. They don't sort of suit our sport as much anymore. But the old style thoroughbred that we used to breed back in the day would still be a wonderful horse to ride around our sport now. Just don't get our hands on those much anymore, which is a shame. Okay. So these performance-bred horses are bred to do this job pretty much, and we buy ones that haven't got too much warm blood in them, have a real good mix of thoroughbred through their bloodlines, and that seems to work really well for us. So, and you know, Charlie and Leo are two very nice horses. So I suppose swinging over to maybe that's the better breed for me now, because it's the one that goes quite well and are talented.
Yeah, absolutely. And breeding evolves, as you say, as competition evolves and courses evolve. So, cool, fantastic. All right. Brielle would like to know, do you ever get nervous before a comp? And if so, how do you talk yourself around?
Well, that's not.
I think you'd get just as nervous.
Yeah, I mean, something going wrong if you don't get nervous, I think. That's for sure. It's different nerves, though. You get nervous before the dressage. That's all comes down to your training, really, and how the horse is on the day. Because sometimes you can go into an environment where the horse isn't performing as well as it should. So you've got to get the best out of them there. Cross country, of course, that's a bit quite nerve-wracking in itself. So definitely get some nerves before that. Before you start, really, once you get out there and stuff. And the show jumping is very related to how careful your horse is and wants to leave the fences up. You still get very nervous, but it's really difficult if you've got a horse that's not very good in the phase. And how I cope is pretty much give myself. It's busy. I've got a lot of jobs to do. Like to ride well, you have to do everything on the marker and correctly, and so really it's very technical. So I go back to that technical aspect of it and do my jobs, concentrate on what I need to do, and then if I'm doing that properly, there's no time to be then going, oh gee whiz, I hope I get it right. Oh gee, I'm really nervous. If I'm doing that, a bit of a luxury because I'm not focused on what I should be doing. So I try to get focused on all the jobs I need to do, and there's a lot of them. That's what I do.
That's such great advice, I think, because if for anyone that wants to go further in this sport, it is a focus, and as you say, the technical side of things, there's a lot of thinking involved in that. And so great points from Stuart, Tinny there, guys. If you guys have time to be nervous once things are happening, then maybe we need to improve some techniques and start thinking about that a bit more. Okay, excellent. So when did you know you wanted to aim for the Olympics?
Was never really a goal of mine. I just loved riding horses. So I started in Pony Club and I was just hanging around having fun. It was great fun. I had a little piebald mare that used to win a lot of things. She was a great jumper. She was a great sporting horse. I just did everything on her. Won lots of ribbons, so that was all lots and lots of fun. And then this eventing thing came to. I was in Central Queensland, and this thing called eventing came there, and I had this really lovely thoroughbred horse that my father got. He was an auctioneer, and we ended up with him because somebody bought him but didn't pay for him. So I ended up with this lovely horse. He was really quiet, could really move, and was a really good jumper. So it's a bit of luck, really, because we just. So I gave this eventing thing a go. and he won the state and national pony club championships over the next couple of years. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was just hearing him. So then I just really enjoyed riding them and really enjoyed doing eventing. So I just wanted to be as good at it as I could. Kid from Central Queensland, Olympics wasn't even on the radar. You know, I might have won an event in Brisbane once, and that was as good as I could be, but I sort of would have been happy with that, I think. I just wanted to do it and be as good as I could, and just happened to go a little further, which was cool.
So it's a kind of a progressive thing as opposed to, say, a childhood dream or something like that. It's as we get going, things are going quite well. Excellent. Okay, fantastic. And that was, by the way, from Rose. And lastly, a very, very important one. Did you ever feel like you wanted to quit? Did you feel like you weren't good enough?
Not good enough. But quit, heaps of times. Every second week.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest time, apart from this one, which has been pretty hard. I had a horse, Bright Beacon. Actually, this lovely place that I'm staying at now is Jane and John Bailey. And Jane originally bought the horse off the track. And then this lovely girl, Michelle, gave him to me to ride because she didn't want to do the high-level sport with him. And I got him all the way over here. He got selected. I rode at Samur 3-day event on him in Europe. And he got second and got selected for the team in Barcelona. And as we were putting him on the plane, he had a bit of thoroughbred feet and they were a bit hard to manage, and he just was a little bit off, so I didn't get to go. And then Karen and I just met and we were together, and we came back and we just didn't have any other horses. We had his little fat polo pony thing at home that used to jack up when he went on outrides and spin around, and that's what we had. So we turned him into a 4-star eventer, I think. We got him going, and that was the only one we had. And then we worked through and we got other horses, and each time we said we're not going to just have one, we're going to try to have more and backups and stuff. And so, but that was probably the hardest time, going back and starting from scratch and having nothing to have to rebuild. So that was tough. And then it's really hard, and this whole thing that's happened to us this time, it's eventing. It happens. Ask anybody that's evented, they have stories identical to this and worse. It's just the way the sport is. So it's really hard to pick up and keep going all the time. But we love it, and that's what we do. And producing horses to this level is what Karen and I do really well. Karen does a lot of the training on them as well, and hopefully riding them all really well while I'm not here. She's got Charlie back in work, I hear. So it's great to have, and it's a great partnership to have. And we just we'll pick up and we'll carry on, and off we go again. And now, of course, we're supporting her as much as we can and producing horses for her as well. So there's a whole nother journey we have to go down there, but one we're looking forward to.
Excellent. Brilliant answers. Thank you. I think, I think the fact that you guys even talk about disappointment and how you manage that and how you handle it is, something that we can all look up to. And certainly young people in the sport can learn a lot from that. As Karen said earlier, as you build maturity levels, it is things that, life teaches you stuff. But in this sport, especially, I would imagine it comes thick and fast pretty regularly. And so, it's difficult to really understand that resilience until we experience things that teach us that. And thank you both for displaying a wonderful amount of humility in experiencing that those adverse times. It's you're both such a wonderful example of great athletes in the sport, great people in the sport, and so we're very proud of you both. Thank you both. And we look forward to maybe Paris.